What's up everyone, Master Fox here today. So this video is actually from a Reddit tournament hosted around a year ago. I just found it again. But it's a 60 card Highlander tournament, which basically means one of every single card and you must have 60 cards in your deck. The ban list for this was pretty sparse, so you pretty much could play a ton of different cards. I do recall that the Dragon Rulers were banned, so no Dragon decks. But other than that, I think most cards were pretty much fair game. Cards like Pot of Greed and stuff were all legal at one end of this format. And Highlander is actually a really interesting format to play because it allows for so many different combinations, and many decks become unbroken in this type of format because the way it's set up decreases consistency by so much that a lot of decks that would be really good, or a lot of cards that would be really good otherwise, just end up not being so good. So here I'm running kind of a Lightsworn, Shaddoll, Burning Abyss deck. Basically my idea with the deck that I'm running is that each card should generate advantage and every single card should be useful without having to rely on other cards. The deck that I'm playing is kind of an odd one. I think he's running an alt-win condition or something like that. I don't exactly remember, but he has a bunch of draw cards. Here he activated Cup of Ace followed by an Upstart Goblin. But yeah, my deck focuses on generating card advantage from every single card. Each card is generating card economy for me, so I'm running things like Fire Hand and Ice Hand, Mathematician as you see. Lightsworn is an engine just because I can get stuff off of milling Burning Abyss monsters and things like that. I'm running Mass Change because, what do you know, I'm trying to generate advantage, so I might as well run Mass Change. But anyways, this tournament unfortunately only ran for 2 rounds because I think the tournament organizer kind of had things fall through after the first 2 rounds. So unfortunately I only have these 2 rounds reported for you guys, this one and then the second one. The second match is actually pretty good in my opinion. But this first match is kind of against an opponent who I guess he doesn't really know what he's doing with his deck building and things like that. So it won't be as interesting, but I think I'll at least get to show off the format and the deck that I'm playing right here. So I don't open up that well, although I do have Graceful Charity, so I can't really complain. He did open up with Graceful Charity as well, so it's not like either of us is at a huge advantage for that. So obviously first, activate the Graceful Charity, see what I can pull here. Maybe I can discard some monsters and get some advantage off of that. Obviously Minerva is prime card for discarding. So I'm drawing 3 right here. Wolf is definitely going to be pitched right here, and then Minerva as well. Try to get a mill, see if I can get lucky a little bit. He activates Secret Barrel, okay. So he's chaining that to the Graceful Charity, or is he activating it after my discard? What is he doing? I don't remember exactly what he's doing. Is he chaining it to my Graceful Charity? Oh no, okay, so it looks like he's not chaining it to my Graceful Charity. He's just using it after I discarded, which, yeah, that's the only way you could do it anyways, because you would have to wait for Graceful Charity to fully resolve. So you're trying to get the mass damage. I mill Premature Burial, which is not good at all. So not much I can do with this hand. I could either summon Mathman, go in for some damage, or I could summon Aaron and try to get some more damage. Here I go for Blackluster Soldier. Of course, actually I forgot about that commentating this. Yeah, so I can go for Blackluster Soldier, and then Aaron try to get those mills during the end of the turn. Attack with Aaron. What does he have? Oh, he has a Swift Scarecrow, so I guess he'll live. Yeah, I think he was running Final Countdown or something like that. I don't really remember. On a side note though, I actually thought I lost this footage, and I just found it recently, and that's why I came back to it now to commentate it, because I thought it'd be interesting to see and talk about. Highlander is really popular in Magic. I think it goes under the name of Elder Dragon Highlander or something like that. And a lot of players do really like it because it gives you a fresh twist in the game. And it's constructed rather than draft, because a lot of people don't like draft play for one reason or another. I'm one of those players. I don't really like draft. The only game where I really liked draft in was Hearthstone, but that was a little bit different. So Highlander is a very good alternative, and I think it's a good idea for Konami maybe to push it sometime in the future as a side event, or maybe even a different format or something like that, because a lot of players do get tired of playing advanced format. I did forget that I was running artifacts in this build because this was during Hat's era, so I was running I think Hat Engine. I'm not sure if I was running trap tricks in this. Unfortunately, I don't exactly remember. When we get to the side decking though, then maybe I can pause it and do a deck profile. But as I look back at this with my hindsight though, I realize that the deck that I built and the card choices that I chose may not have been the best of them all. And of course, now with having experienced my first Highlander tournament, I think I could build a way better deck. And this is probably something that someone should host. I would definitely jump in on a Highlander tournament with the time, if I had some time actually. So throwing in some mills here, mill a Calcab, which is pretty good. And I also mill my Cyberstein, unfortunately. But whatever, I get my Calcab, get to send back one of his set spell trap cards. Yeah, I'll send the set one, set that back a turn. So he's actually running Nightmare Wheel here, which is really, really interesting because way back when, it was like in early 2003 or something like that, Nightmare Wheel was a pretty big tech and a lot of people used it for its burn damage because it ended up being pretty significant. Anyways, that actually reminds me of history of Yu-Gi-Oh! I know a lot of people are kind of asking me, pressing me about when it's coming out. It's definitely coming there. I'm almost done. There's just these last few pieces that I need to find. The information is kind of hard to find, trying to get tournament data and things like that. So that's why it's taking a long time. The editing is still coming along as well. This next episode is really, really long too, so that's why it's taking a long time to edit. I think it's going to end up being something like 30 minutes. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that because it is going to be a pretty long episode. And I've been pretty busy these past few weeks, and in these next few weeks and next few months, I'm going to be pretty busy as well. So that's why. That's just the update, the gist of it, just so you guys know. I know a lot of people are anticipating that, so I don't want to disappoint you guys, but I also don't want to rush things out too, because when you rush something out and it ends up not as you would have liked, it's stuck that way and you can't really fix it. So it's better to have delays and have a better final product than to rush it out and have kind of a crappy product. Anyways, back to the match. I summoned Mathematician, so now I get the Foolish Burial effect. Let's see. Now, actually, we can take a look at what's in the deck. Yeah, so I'm running a bunch of, you see, one-offs. I'm going to send the Shadal Dragon here to pop that Nightmare Wheel, make sure he doesn't get any more damage off of that. And then here, if he doesn't have a response, he's going to be sitting with pretty low life. It's 3,100 plus 3,000, 6,100. So he was at 6,400, so he'd be brought down to 300. I can't finish him off with Cowboy or anything like that, but actually I could finish him off with Mass Chain second. I don't remember if I actually did in this game, but I don't think so because I think I was only running Mass Chain second for the one Dark Law. Yeah, so I can't really do anything with the Mass Chain second here. You see the bunch of Shadal fusions I was running because this is a Shadal hybrid, of course, too, but don't have anything that I believe I could finish him off with, so I just have to go into the end phase. The only good mill I got off there was the breakthrough skill, but we'll see. His deck is not very interesting from what I remember because he's running some sort of alternative win condition. I'm not even sure we get to see very much of it, unfortunately. But the second match of this tournament is actually really, really good because the player that I play ends up playing a deck very, very similar to mine. And so we have a nice back and forth. So he pulls a sword, so that should buy him some time. I don't draw into anything particularly useful. Drawing a Rubik with a field of non-Burning Abyss monsters, meaning I can't really utilize it. Can't utilize my Kagna. I could summon my Fire Hand, but it's not really going to do anything. Checking out my extra deck, seeing what I could pull off here. I mean, I have Instant Fusion, so I could get the Thousand Eyes, but that's obviously not going to do anything here. I could summon the Fire Hand. Yeah, summon the Fire Hand. Go for Castell, and then that would basically finish off this game. I think that's what I'm going to go for. That's the only real option I have here to finish off the game. Yeah, activate Castell, and then finish off this game. Even in this Highlander format, Castell is still very, very, very powerful. Yeah, so he concedes, and then here we can do a quick pause so that you guys can see the deck that I'm running. As you can see, I'm running basically kind of a chaos style engine using the Shaddolls, Burning Abyss monsters, and then some of the other techs like Zephyros and Card Trooper, running the Fire Hands as well. So basically the part of the Hat engine when it was popular. We have the single Cyberstein. I believe Magical Scientist was banned. I'm almost 100% certain that Magical Scientist was banned. Otherwise I would have definitely ran it. But here I ran Cyberstein instead, just for that quick OTK potential. And as for the rest of the spells and trap cards, you can see that it's pretty much filled up with really good staple spells and trap cards. There's not really any sort of text other than, I would say, Mass Chain second, just to get into that Dark Law. But if I were to play this today again, I would have so many changes to this deck, it would probably look nothing like this. I'd definitely scrap probably all the Light Sworns and probably the Shaddolls as well. But then again, we've had a year of power creep, so a lot of things changed in just 1 year's time. But anyways, we're getting back into game 2 here, and so we'll see how things end up. He opts to go first. He activates his Cup of Ace. I still don't know what deck he's playing at this point in time, though I had the assumption that it was some sort of alternative win condition. It ends up not being very good for him, as I'm able to draw 2 free cards, which is actually a -3 for him. That's really, really bad. You don't see that very often. And so he activates Spellbook Organization. So you guys can see that at this point, even in game 2, I had no idea what he's playing until I saw the Reversal Quiz. So it looks like he's playing that Reversal Quiz Black Pendant OTK, I believe. There's something with that that allows you to kind of swap your life points, and then the Black Pendant does, I believe, 600 damage. However much damage it does exactly enough damage for you to basically win the game in that go. But with 60 cards, it kind of becomes an inconsistent mess when you have to try to get down to those 2 specific cards in hand. And not to mention, you need to have a specific amount of life points, because you need less than the 600 or 500, however much damage that the Black Pendant inflicts. You need less damage than that so you can swap with your opponent. So right here, I have a lot of options in my hand. He activates a Gravity Bind. It doesn't really bother me too much since I have the MST. I could take that out if I really wanted. But I also have Card Trooper, who can boost up to be a 1900 attack 3-star monster who can attack under Gravity Bind no problem. So obviously I activate the Card Trooper, seeing if I can get any good mills. Nothing really good. 1 Jane, 1 name for Judgment Dragon. But I sent Judgment Dragon off those mills too, and you only have 1 Judgment Dragon in Highlander, so that wasn't really good. These weren't really good mills. But I'll set the MST, and I guess I have to pass after that. There's not much I can do. I have a handful of monsters, but no Shaddol Fusion and no Dark monsters in the graveyard, so that I could summon the Chaos Sorcerer. We'll see what he's gonna do from here. This tournament though is really interesting, so I hope that someone does this and someone hosts this better than the first time, and hopefully it's managed well, because this is kind of an interesting way to play the game. Okay, so he activates his Royal Oppression so that I can't get any more special summons to spam the field. It's not like he's going to be doing any field spamming, so Royal Oppression works out for him pretty well. I can still do the normal summon and keep going for the beatdown here. He doesn't really have any defenses. No other set spells or traps, so I can mill cards indiscriminately here. I'm able to mill a couple of Shaddol cards. I mill the Falco, so I could activate the Falco's effect. I'm trying to see if he has any response to that. Although I don't think he really has any response. He could activate actually his Royal Oppression, but he chooses not to, which is okay. It's not like the Falco is going to be doing anything to him this turn. And he probably wants to conserve life points. He needs to be able to live and see as many turns as he can, because he needs to pull his combos off. Right now I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should just go for it and summon the Jane. Maybe pitch one of the Shaddol monsters so I can get out Chaos Sorcerer. Although he could still continuously use Royal Oppression to stop both. I guess I'll summon Lumina here. And then with Lumina, activating Lumina's effect, I could pitch a Dark probably Zephyros or Dragon, and then use the Dragon as a fodder for Chaos Sorcerer to summon him. Okay, so he's choosing to negate the activation of Lumina's effect with Royal Oppression. That's not unexpected, but I can just MST it right here. And so that ends up not working out for him because I'm able to summon the Jane. This is 1900, 1800. Oh, I definitely made a mistake here. Here I activated Dragon's effect to pop the Gravity Bind, but that should not work because Dragon was discarded by Lumina as a cost, not as a card effect. Forgive me, this was early on in the release of Shaddolls, and I wasn't really a Shaddall user. And I guess I assumed that Shaddolls worked like Burning Abyss monsters, but that is incorrect. I should not have popped his Gravity Bind here, so Jane should not have been able to attack. Not that it really matters, I don't think, but that's just for technicalities. That's just how it should have worked. I'm sorry about that. I did not remember playing Shaddall Dragon like that. So here I mill 5 essentially for Jane and Lumina. Pretty bad mills, nothing that I would want to hit. He gets the Necro Valley, so stopping me from doing any further Lumina plays next turn. But it's not. Oh, okay. So he's got Lava Golem, summoning him to my side of the field. But yeah, he admits defeat because he doesn't really have any counters to what I have on the field, and his deck was more of an alternative win condition, so there's not much that he can do. I know that this wasn't the most interesting duel to watch probably, but I decided to showcase it anyways just because there's only 2 rounds that I have of footage from this tournament, so I wanted you guys to see as much as you could. But I promise the second and last round that I played in the next match is a lot better because I essentially play a mirror match and it ends up being a pretty interesting match overall. So look out for that. The next video is really long, but I think I'll have it sped up because the recording on its own is like 38 minutes, and I know that you guys don't want to sit through a match that long with me talking for that long. So I'll probably put that on double speed or something while I just kind of talk through the plays. But it's definitely a good match, so make sure to check that out once I have it up. That's pretty much it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.